Hi everyone, welcome to S4 Shania Science classes. Today we are going to discuss about kingdom fungi, their general characteristics and some more details.
Kingdom fungi, which is a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. There are two characteristics which make them unique. One is that they are all heterotrophic organisms, and the second one, they have cell wall which is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. Plants also contain cell wall, but it is made up of cellulose. These two characteristics make them special kingdom or the unique kingdom. You can see these fungi are everywhere. These are cosmopolitan actually. What do you mean by cosmopolitan? Cosmopolitan के मतलब ये you can find them everywhere. Whether it is cold climate or whether it is warm climate, you can find everywhere. But still, they prefer to grow in a warm, humid places. The most of the organisms, you can see mostly they prefer warm and humid places. There is so much of examples around you for fungus. Like bread molds are there, mushrooms are there, which is a common example, and there are so many parasitic fungi which is actually causing diseases for plants and animals. And there are some benefits also from fungi. Like that, you can see that there are some fungi which are a very good source of antibiotics, such as penicillin. Penicillin actually, this is an antibiotic which actually extracted from Penicillium notatum. There are some unicellular fungi also, like yeast, which we are actually used to make bread and beer. Brewing industry and baking industry, you can see that these unicellular fungi have a very important role. This is mainly used for making bread and beer. What actually they are doing? They will convert the carbohydrate and sugar in that bread dough that into ethanol and carbon dioxide. These carbon dioxide will form some air pockets or air bubbles in the dough which will make them spongy. There are some special species like Saccharomyces cerevisiae that are the most common yeast which we are used in baking industry. There are some other fungi which is even causing diseases for plants and animals, like wheat rust causing Puccinia. If you're taking the structure, these fungi mostly having a filamentous structure. You can see in the picture, they have a filamentous body. Their body consists of a long, slender, thread-like structure which is called hyphae. You can see that a very long thread-like structure. That's actually called hyphae. बहुत बड़ा long thread-like structure है, उसका नाम है hyphae. ऐसे बहुत सारी hyphae मिलाकर they will form a network of hyphae which is called mycelium. कभी-कभी these mycelium can be, you can see that, or the hyphae can be separated, right? So that's actually, you can see that there will be some cross walls, you can see that. Such hyphae, we will name it as septate hyphae. That means those hyphae having septum in that or cross walls in them, they are called septate hyphae. And those hyphae doesn't have that cross walls or septa, they are aseptate hyphae, or even you can say that cenocytic hyphae. So because of that absence of cross wall, these hyphae will have a continuous tube filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. So that means you can see a continuous tube which is having different nucleus in them and a continuous cytoplasmic structure, you can see that. So that's why they are known as cenocytic condition or multinucleated condition. So such hyphae are called cenocytic hyphae. I hope it is clear for you. Actually, you can see that we told that these fungi having a filamentous body. But the actual mycelium you are seeing, right, this is actually inside the soil. This is actually burrowed inside the soil. That means that there will be a network of mycelium under the soil. You can only see a small part of that hyphae, or that actually the part which we are seeing outside, that's actually the fruiting body. जैसे कि एक आइसबर्ग जैसा मोस्टली आपने देखा होगा whenever we will see the icebergs, we will see a small part of that iceberg outside, and you can see the major part of the icebergs will be under the water. The same like that, whenever you will see a fungi, you will see the fruiting body outside. That's only the small part. If you're taking a mushroom structure, you can easily understand that mushroom के fruiting body will be seen outside, but the mycelium part, that actually the network of hyphae, very large network of hyphae that's actually underneath the soil. So that's why we are telling it's just like an iceberg. Only small part we can see outside. You can see in the picture, it is very clear there. If you are going for that mode of nutrition, you can see that most of the fungi are saprophytic in nature. We already told they all are heterotrophic in nature, but most of them are saprophytes. That means they absorb soluble organic matter from the dead and decaying substance. डेड एंड डिकेइंग सब्सटेंस है वो सोल्यूबल ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को अब्सॉर्ब कर देती है एंड दैट विल बी यूटिलाइज्ड फॉर द some of the members are even parasitic. That means they live on the other organism for their they will depend on the other organism, that's a host. They will depend on the host and they will take the nutrition from the host. Even you can see that there is another category, they are also heterotroph but they are symbionts. That means there will be mutual benefit for the both of the organism. They live as a symbiotes. The main example you can see that they are actually the lichens and the mycorrhiza. What do you mean by lichens or lichens? It's actually the symbiotic association between an algae and a fungi. Here you can see that the algae part and the fungi part, they're actually inseparable. They have a mutual benefit, right? That means you can see that this algae, that's actually the phycobiont, and the fungi, which is a mycobiont. Algae actually prepare the food for the fungi and give to them. Fungi provide the shelter. So that means actually you can see that the fungi part actually absorb minerals and nutrients for the algae also. That means both are mutually benefited. जैसे कि हमने इधर बता दिया था, lichens, they are the association, symbiotic association between fungi and algae. इसमें से fungi जो algae को shelter provide करती है, उसके साथ साथ absorb mineral absorb कर देती है और algae उसके जो मिनरल की whatever things they are absorbing वो यूज कर फूड प्रिपेयर कर फंजी को दे देती है. दैट मीन्स इट्स अ म्यूचुअल एसोसिएशन. Another example is that actually the root of higher plants and the fungi, which is called mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza में you can see that the fungi absorb the water and minerals and it will improve that higher plants mineral absorption capacity. That means those mainly you can see that some gymnosperm, that is actually mycorrhiza, you can see that mostly in gymnosperms, right, like pine and some special trees, gymnosperms, you can see that there will be a white powdery substance in them, which is actually the mycorrhiza, the fungi and root of higher plant association, जिसकी वजह से हमारी ये प्लांट की रूट की absorptive capacity बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हो जाती है. That's actually this plant's mineral absorption capacity बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो जाती है. These because of that this fungi hyphae, these are very minute in nature rather than root hairs बिल्कुल minute है, तो इसलिए बहुत जल्दी mineral or water whatever things are there they can easily absorb. So here also a mutual benefit is there. Now we are moving to the reproduction. The reproduction of fungi, if you are discussing, they are actually undergoing different type of reproduction. Here you can see that most of the fungi, they are undergoing vegetative propagation. Some are there which is undergo asexual reproduction, and even there are some forms which will show sexual reproduction also. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, you can see that these both are carried out by some special spores. We will go one by one. First one is the vegetative propagation. Here you can see in the picture, the vegetative propagation again divided into fragmentation, fission and budding. In the fragmentation, you can see that the fungi mycelium will be fragmented into small parts and each part can grow into the new organism. In the fission, which is mostly shown by yeast and all, you can see that the nucleus, the binary fission will be there, the nucleus will be divided and after that the cytoplasm will divide and there will be the daughter cells will be there. In budding, and another main example in yeast, the unicellular fungi, there you can see that there will be a mother cell which will produce a small bud. Later on this bud can be detached from the mother cell and it can grow as an individual. If we are checking that asexual mode of reproduction, you can see that there are different type of asexual spores, such as conidia, which is produced on a conidiophore, and there are sporangiospores, which is inside the sporangium, and you can see some zoospores are also there. Zoospores are the motile spores. Now, if you're going for the sexual mode of reproduction, that's also by means of spores. There are different types of spores, such as oospores and ascospores and basidiospores. These spores are actually produced inside the fruiting body. Here you can see in the picture, we are given that very clearly asexual reproduction also, sexual reproduction also. Asexual reproduction by means of conidia, sporangiospores and zoospores. Spores, you can see that zoospores, you can see that flagella is also there. That means they are motile in nature. And in sexual reproduction, you can see that oospores, ascospores and basidiospores, which will be produced by different type of fungi like ascomyces and basidiomycetes. These are actually produced in distinct structures such as fruiting bodies. The life cycle of fungi, you can see that they have asexual life cycle and also the sexual life cycle. In asexual life cycle, the fungal hyphae, they will undergo mitosis and they will produce asexual spores which are haploid in nature. The haploid fungi, the haploid hyphae will undergo mitosis and they will produce haploid asexual spores, which will in turn develop into a haploid hyphae. So this is actually, you can say that this is the asexual life cycle. Whether it is sexual life cycle, you can see that two different hyphae, which we can take it as a positive type and negative type, will come together and their protoplasm will fuse together. This stage is known as the plasmogamy. That's actually the fusion of protoplasm of two motile or non-motile gamete, which will lead to a condition in which a cytoplasm with two nuclei. And this condition is known as dikaryophase or dikaryon. That means in a single cell, in the cytoplasm, there are two nuclei. These two nuclei later fuse together and they will lead to form a zygote. And the fusion of these two nuclei is known as karyogamy. Karyo means nucleus. So karyogamy, the fusion of nucleus. These karyogamy, you can see that after the karyogamy, there will be zygote formation. These zygotes will undergo division, that means the meiosis, and they will produce haploid sexual spores. Here you can see that first hyphae, we told that they all are haploid nature. Once they will fuse together, there is a dikaryon stage in which you are actually not 2n or not n. It's actually n plus n condition. That means the fusion of two nuclei not take place. So it will be as such n plus n stage. When they will undergo karyogamy, that 2n will fuse together. That means the two nuclei will fuse together and will lead to a zygote, which is it is diploid in nature. That means n plus n to n, which is diploid in nature. These zygote again undergo meiosis and will produce haploid sexual spores. These sexual spores, which can undergo continuous development and it can form the fungal hyphae or fungal mycelium later, and the cycle will continue. One more thing you have to remember here, whenever favorable condition is there, these fungi mostly prefer asexual type of reproduction. You can see that there will be no change in their genetic identity. You can see that it will just forming a clone. But whenever there is a unfavorable condition, that means drought or anything, the same type of organism may not survive. So they need some change, variation in them. So that time they will undergo the sexual reproduction and will produce slightly different organism from the parent. It can even survive such unfavorable condition. So always remember that fungi will undergo asexual reproduction. Whenever favorable condition is there, it will undergo sexual reproduction whenever there will be unfavorable condition. One more thing you have to remember here, in some special or type of fungi such as basidiomyces and ascomycetes, this dikaryon stage may exist as such for millions of years, and later it can go to form the zygote. So they can even. One more thing you have to remember, in some special type of fungi like Ascomyces and Basidiomycetes, this dikaryotic stage or dikaryon can be persist for so many years. That means the n plus n condition, the 2 nuclei per cell condition can as such for so many years. And later when they will be having favorable condition, they will lead to form the zygote, and later from that the fruiting body will originate and it will continue the life cycle.
I hope you have clearly understood about the kingdom fungi. If it is really helpful for you, please subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. And if you have any queries